Jesus Christ.
Religious orders like us, the Passionists, have a postulancy program as the first formation stage for candidates. Listening to the readings this Sunday remind me of those days when our Passionist postulancy director back in Puerto Rico telling us young candidates when we were complaining or dealing with challenges, hey, do you want to leave? That you have the front door on the road. You're free, it is up to you. For the past several weeks, as we've journeyed through chapter 6 of John's Gospel, we've encountered Jesus as the one who can relieve physical hunger and as the nourishment necessary for fullness of life. Today's Gospel and first reading call us to make a choice, just as the people of Israel did when Joshua, shortly before his death, gathered them together in an invitation to rededicate themselves to serving the Lord. While many of Jesus' disciples, led by their outrage and astonishment, returned to their former way of life, a similar choice is also placed before the 12 when Jesus decisively asked them, do you also want to leave? It was a moment of crisis in the life of the disciples, and Jesus faces that moment determined and calm. A life of discipleship is not easy. It is a challenging journey. We are called to accept teachings that are difficult and commandments that at times may seem impossible. Jesus asks us to love one another, to love our enemies, turn the other cheek, forgive 77 times, be the least of all, and embrace the same vulnerability and humility that he embodied on the cross. To any one of these requests, we might be tempted to say, this saying is hard. Who can accept it? And yet, Jesus reminds us today that these words, which cause consternation and challenge us to be more than we ever thought possible, are a spirit and life, meaning that they hold God's spirit. Within any authentic relationship, there is always freedom of choice. So we look at Simon Peter. He models a response of perfect faith to Jesus' question, do you also want to leave? Theologian Roman Gardini writes in his book, The Lord, Peter does not say, we understand what you mean, but we hold fast to your hand. Your words are words of life, whether we understand them or not. Each day, as disciples of Jesus, we are given a choice. Do you also want to leave? Peter's answer is sincere, humble, prudent, typical of a disciple who knows Jesus enough to abandon him. His attitude can still help those who, with hesitant faith, consider to get rid of any experience of God. Peter knows that the words of Jesus are not empty or deceitful. Next to him, they have discovered a life in another way. His message has opened them to a deeper life. Where could they find better news from God? By living with Jesus, they have discovered that he comes from the mystery of God. From far away, from distance, from indifference or lack of interest, the mystery that is contained in Jesus cannot be recognized. But the 12 have treated him closely, and they will stand with Jesus. So, my sisters and brothers, may our response be that of Peter's and the Israelites who proclaim with certainty, we will serve the Lord, for he is our God. Amen.